So hey friends, welcome to this week's video. I know it's been a little bit of time since I've seen you guys into like a real review where we've actually got to sit down and talk with each other about stuff that we like, and I apologize for that. I just have been having some health issues in terms of just like a little cold and stuff like that, as well as work's just been picking up, but thankfully the holiday is here and things are slowing down towards the end of the year, so I'm hoping to get you guys some videos now that I have more spare time. I do owe you guys part 2 of responding to your comments, but in the meantime, let's go into a sneaker review this week with the Maniere Air Jordan 3. This one released this year, and usually I don't go for Air Jordan 3s, not because it's a bad silhouette, it's just usually it has the elephant print and I'm just not a big fan of that. However, once Maniere got their hands on the silhouette, they really took that out, and you saw that with last year's release, which was like a like a top sneaker of all time, which was just so pretty, and I really wanted to get that, but they're super expensive and in women's sizing, so it's just limited. I don't feel like spending all that much money on these. Alternatively, I got these ones, which I don't really have that many black sneakers either, so it was a nice switch up, as well as the fact that these weren't that hard to get. I was able to go into the website, within the hour and still get my size, which was really nice. I didn't have to deal with the hype. I didn't have to deal with the resale. I was able to get them straight from Maniere's website, and they came in. So let's go into the sneaker, show you guys what these are up close, and then we'll talk about how this rocks with different outfits and the comfortability. All right, let's start with the box. This thing is pretty as fuck. Ama's making me feel like they're proposing to me. And you know how they say don't judge a book by its cover? Well, fuck that. Even the guts of the box are pretty. The metallic lid with the Maniere embossing is just so elegant looking, and I just love the attention to detail. And if you're one of those people who
like to be wined and dined after I've been,
then they've got you covered with this velvety Bordeaux colored lining that just oozes royal luxury. Pulling back the papers to reveal the shoes, you'll get 2 cardboard cases inside which have additional laces. They come with the cream and violet ore pair, and they are wound and packaged very nicely. We'll get more to laces later in this review. The AJ3s also come with a plastic Nike Air tag, which is the same violet ore color as the shoes. I'm not one of those people that will wear these on my shoes, but it's a nice addition to add some flair to a bag or something like that. Moving on to the shoes, they use a combination of tumbled leather as a core, smooth suede as the eyelets, and hairy suede for the toe box and heel. I love how plush these feel in hand. The tumbled leather is super soft and has some nice padding behind it. You can really see the plumpness around the stitching. The use of different textures across the shoe give it a more interesting look and feel. The hairy suede gives it some rugged looks while being soft to the touch, and the perforated smooth suede around the eyelets give it some nice sleekness. It definitely gives a more bespoke feel than in comparison to a normal AJ3. The toe also implements the hairy suede for the mudguard, which I think looks good atop the creamy midsole. You get a little violet or Oreo from the front side. Moving to the back, you get the Nike Air logo and that rubberized pull tab. This is one of the distinctive characteristics of an AJ3 that I really like, and this one blends really well with the tumbled leather. Inside of the pull tab, you'll see a metallic message that says, "Do some of that," which honors one of their guiding values. The interiors of the shoe have some familiar characteristics with some new additions. The heel continues with the quilted satin construction from previous years that make it easy to slip on and give you a nice cushy feel against the heel. The tongue has the Jordan and Maniere logo stitched in, but what is really interesting is the inside where they nix the quilt for a more textured cloth pattern with Maniere stitching in it. To me, this makes it more flexible and comfortable as well as grippy. You'll notice that the insole was also changed to this material. This again increases the grip and proves one of the most annoying things from previous generation Manieres with the quilted insole. While the quilted insole was more cushy and interesting, it did cause some slippery feel when walking, and it didn't feel very locked in. This is a better implementation in my opinion because these materials are less slippery and also cause less sweaty feet. For those concerned about the cushion change, there is still solid padding, so don't worry about it because these are still thicker than other AJ3 insoles that I have. Underneath the insole has another hidden message of "While You're Sleeping," the name of this collaboration with Nike this year. Lastly, the outsole has a nice mix of colors between the different shades of violet and the cream, really bringing everything together in a cohesive fashion from top to bottom. And of course, you'll get the nice little air unit in the back. As I promised, I'd come back to the laces, and here we are. You'll get 3 laces in total, a black, a violet ore, and a cream pair. Each are adorned with aglets with the message of "Work Harder," which reminds me of that one Kobe quote.
I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. Right? But you always want to outwork your potential. As hard as you believe you can work harder than that.
As for those laces, I'm not sure if I'm just hyped on the sneaker, but they do feel like a heftier weave. They do have a more textured and quality feel in hand, and the violet ones do feel different as they have a coating on them in opposed to the soft material of the cream and blacks. When thinking of alternative laces, I like to think of how I'll use them. Here's how the cream and violet ones look on foot. While the cream shout a bit more, I do think that these are more of a summery vibe for the lighter laces, and with the darkness of this shoe, I'll likely use this more in winter and fall than in the summer months. So if I were to pick an alternative lace for these, I'd likely go with the violet ore. Now picking between the violet and the black, it's a harder choice as both would work great in winter and fall. I think it would just depend on if you want a little more pop or not. Right after shooting this, I had a speaking event at Boston University, so I opted to go with violet to keep it more subtle. I went safe and kept with the purple vibes and was pleasantly surprised that these worked even with dress pants. They were pretty unassuming and didn't draw a lot of attention. They just flowed really well with the outfit and really didn't cause any attention unless there was a sneakerhead around. Definitely a look I could repeat for clients that are less stuffy and allow sneakers in the office. I also took this trip to New Orleans with 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒 and just packed this shoe for the whole trip. They were comfortable almost immediately, and I like how even with pressure and altitude changes, they were comfortable to wear in flight. Some shoes I've worn simply don't work because sometimes my feet swell, but these ones were beyond comfortable in flight. While walking around NOLA, I didn't find any issues with these. They were comfortable to walk around all day, and even in the heat, my feet didn't really sweat all that much. While my feet weren't sweaty, I definitely was, so I had to wear shorts for this trip. For me, Jordan 3s don't really look good with shorts. Maybe it's just me and my Filipino calves, but they just don't look good with shorts on my body. But I figure I'd give you a few looks of what they could look on your feet with shorts. You'll likely look better in this combo than I do. However, we did check out the Sazerac house in some museums, which gave me an excuse to show how these look with long pants. Especially with black pants, these shoes look awesome. They flow together well, and despite being plushy, they do retain a nice sleek look on foot. The silhouette works for all types of pants, whether skinny, straight, wide leg, or jogger. The tongue can be flared out to emphasize the shoe, or easily tucked away to allow for a longer or baggier break. Additionally, the shoe is structured in a way that no-show or long socks can work without discomfort. Soft materials of the heel tab and the flush construction against the heel ensure that this does not snag against your clothes nor nip your skin like the 𝐷𝐻𝐻 AJ4s can. These 𝐷𝐻𝐻 AJ3s are just a nice everyday shoe that even my wide-ass feet could find comfort in through these long, hot walks around NOLA. Overall, it's just a dope shoe that has some class and just enough flair to catch some attention. I appreciate you guys going down memory lane with me to my New Orleans trip, but these were the guys that I rocked with the entire time, and after the first half day, these broke in nicely. They use a lot of soft materials, so there's not going to be a lot of stiffness that's going to really constrict your feet. And even for a wide footer for like me, these were perfectly fine. I could go true to size and really not have to worry about anything. I was concerned because some other Maniers that I have are tight. They are just a lot harder to break in and just a lot more narrow than I would want. But these ones were perfectly fine. I do like that they switched up the materials too. Again, we talked about how the footbed and the tongue provide more grip. Again, when we get to the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 Jordan 4s, we'll talk about what a mess that is, having the quilted stuff everywhere. But I do like that they've changed that this year. And I think they've been hearing their customers about what problems they were having with their previous generations. So like this edition of this like patterned textured stuff is just a lot better. Again, I was concerned a little bit about the darkness of this and if this would be versatile enough with the violet ore. However, you know, for most of the stuff I wear, it really wasn't a limiting factor. I think because it's a little bit more subtle, a little bit less vibrant, it kind of blends in with your outfits quite nicely, even if you're wearing some contrasting colors on the color wheel. So this worked out a lot better than I was expecting. I didn't have to think too much about my outfits. It just was stealthy and nice. So I think if you liked the Jordan 3 from years ago, this is a nice option if you want something for the fall or winter. This is going to be a lot easier to take care of and easier to get. Right now, these are going for under retail, at least for my size, $183 when I got these for like $225 or $250, whatever the retail price was. So I think these are great. I think these are slept on. So especially for the winter times, I think that this is a great pickup, especially at the price that it is right now. So don't hesitate if you've been interested in this. If you're just waiting for, you know, some more confirmation of why you should pick these up, now's the perfect time before prices change and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, love these sneakers. Definitely going to be something that is in my rotation, especially during these months. But that aside, I appreciate you guys sticking around on my channel. I know I've been a little bit sporadic recently just because, you know, I've been sick and all this other work stuff. But again, hopefully now all that sort of stuff is past. It's going slower now at work because everyone's going into holiday mode. So I'm going to have some more time for me to give you guys more reviews. And we do have some stuff coming in the mail coming up very soon. Thanks to collaborations that were possible because of you guys. You guys leaving your comments, DMing me with like options to think for things to review. Me being able to answer some of the questions that you guys have has shown some companies that I do care about being thorough about my reviews, that I can give them feedback from customers about things that they could improve on future generations, as well as just get some feedback, especially for some of these newer products that don't have a good like foundation, that we can give them some good areas to look at as they release their products. So I do appreciate you guys staying locked in and giving me these opportunities with these companies. It's just been pretty awesome. Additionally, I do have some other things that are in the plates. Obviously, we have a ton of sneakers coming up, just from stuff that I've gotten in the mail. I'll probably spread those out a little bit just so you're not like inundated with freaking sneakers, but we do have some tech in terms of in-ear monitors as well as the PS Portal. I do have that right there. Here, that I've been traveling with and testing for the past 6 months, so I can give you guys my perceptions on if it's worthwhile, where it's good, where it's bad, and all that sort of stuff. But that'll probably be my next review. I'm just trying to make sure I have all the cameras footage that I had. I shot this like over 6 months, so it's on a bunch of different cameras. So that's coming up. Be patient with me, but I should have that out by next week. But yeah, if you could, please comment, subscribe, like, do all the things you normally do on a video that you like and love. And as always, appreciate you. Peace.